Oh, good morning, beautiful people. Just tweaking a few things. Only got 70% battery, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to be live for, but going for a bit of beach therapy. Hopefully someone feels like going for a beach walk. Just grabbed my coffee from Park Cafe. We had massive thunderstorms last night and it rained big time. There's mud everywhere. But my tank is 3/4 full now, so woohoo! That's pretty exciting news. Got my prescription sunnies on. Not sure if I need a hat or not. I can read, well, no one's chatting yet, but I can see chat. Thought we'd go for a bit of a stroll, and I've probably not, I'm not dressed like scantily, but it's not as warm as I thought it was. Like, it was 27 degrees in my house. Mel Mac, hello. Do you feel like a beach walk? How have you been? Oh, the vote. I would have gone live from Adelaide, except I was distraught. Didn't happen. And it was a really big divide too. Like, it was, I can't remember the final figure. It was like 60, I don't know, 2 or 3 or even 4 for no. So disappointing. Hey, check out this beautiful day. Hey, Bristol. I hope you have a yum dinner. Already shitloads of surfers out. Summer's on its way, but not here yet. But we've had some great swells. I'm actually, Mel Mac, it was horrible. But, you know, like, as the campaign went on, it got so muddied by the no campaign. Like, they actually revealed a document that got leaked from the no campaign to their supporters, telling them to pretty much make shit up. And it just got so muddied, and people couldn't wrap their head around the concept, which was so simple, because it just got so muddied and so overcomplicated. I'll go this way. There's a bit of congestion at that track. Cute combi van. Some people get all excited about, you know, fancy cars. Me, the daggy old combi. That's my kind of car vehicle. Yeah, so it was really disappointing. Really disappointing. Tasmania, which was predicted to be a yes state, was the first state where they declared it as a no state. I was gutted, man. Crooked. What, the no people? It was just shit. And I mean, I had intelligent friends that were saying crap like, you know, we've said sorry, we don't have to do anything else. It's like, sorry is a word. We need action now, and this is an action. I had other people going, oh, dividing a country is not the answer. Guess what, guys? We are divided. Very easy for white, privileged, middle-class assholes to say, oh, this is going to divide the country. I mean, if they were marginalised Indigenous Australians living in the outback with a much higher rate of domestic violence, illnesses, their life expectancy is shorter, they lose a lot of babies at births, education's appalling, and we are divided because no one in Australia should be unequal, especially not our First Nations people. But people just didn't get it, you know, like, it was impossible to turn the nose. sweet and sour girl. I voted yes, even though I was confused on what it really was about. Good on you though, because that sort of was the argument I guess we were pitching to the undecided was that it had got so muddied, and the people that complained about, this referendum's costing taxpayers money. Well, I'd say to those people, I'm like, well, then vote yes to make the spend worth it. Like, if that's your only issue, is the cost of the referendum, then voting yes is the obvious thing to do. Like, justify the spend, But yeah, it was really disappointing. I was very vocal about it on my Facebook. I don't do a lot of Facebook, but I'm starting to use it for advocacy. And I was very vocal about it. But when the outcome was revealed, as disappointed as I was, and I must admit I did post a meme that, said people were not that great actually, but I chose to find the silver lining, and I just talked about how, I have to respect that we live in a democracy and people are allowed to make decisions and whatever. The problem was the majority of them, in my view, made decisions being uninformed and not fucking reading the documents that explained in simple terms what it was about. But you can't get on Facebook and go, you bunch of illiterate racists, can you, So I looked at the silver lining and just talked about the amazing people I've met on the Yes campaign. And that included people who were voting no that were reasonable, but most of them I experienced were not. They were shouty, angry, vile, sometimes blatant racists. But there were some, storytellers in the no campaign that had first-hand experience and were misinformed. Like, it just was a fucking schmozzle, and it turned into a political schmozzle too, because it wasn't about politics. It was about equality. But, so many people saw it as Liberal versus Labor. It was just yuck. It was just yuck. These prescription sunnies, as lovely as they are, I'm struggling to read anything now. But yeah, it's ignited fire in a lot of people's bellies to soldier on, and I'm looking at opportunities in advocating, whether I do something through Aboriginal legal rights or one of the other reputable, not that there's many, most of them are fat white men making a shitload of money pretending to give a fuck about our First Nations people organisations. But yeah, it might inspire me to do something in that area. Well, it has inspired me. So, I'm hoping a lot of other yes voters feel the same way, that the referendum wasn't the end, it's really the beginning. But it fucking pisses me off. It pisses me off that these privileged, entitled, abusive assholes didn't even read the Uluru Statement of the Heart. They didn't even read what it was about. They heard some fuckwit on mainstream media pushing some misinformation and bullshit and decided to go with that. They basically voted for Rupert Murdoch by voting no, a lot of them. How fucking ignorant. It does my head in. Lazy people just believing what mainstream media feeds them. Is that Francesca? Sucks. My screen is so dark. Let me just see if I can brighten it up a little bit. I can't even see the slider thing that brightens it up. So weird. Oh, disgusting ignorance. Absolutely. Hi to anyone else that's wanted in. I'm really sorry. I cleaned the phone screen and thought I was pretty good to go with my prescription sunnies on. But I'm thinking I might be better off just wearing my prescription glasses, and a hat. But it's the first beach walk of the summer, so, shitloads of people down here. Should have come down a bit earlier, but I was on a call to a friend of mine in the US, and that was an important call. So I'm down here a bit later, but yeah, it's going to be a stunning day. I mean, check it out. And yesterday we had grey, rainy, but not rainy enough to fill up the water tank. Like it barely touched the sides. My tank was down to a quarter level. And then overnight we had these mega thunderstorms. I woke up at one point and just lying in bed watching the lightning, but didn't actually hear the rain, but went down just before I went live, and my tank is 4/5 full now. So you little effing beauty. But yeah, so I'm going to just throw the angst of the no voters out into the ocean. If anyone else needs to, while we're looking at this view, go for it. And then if I can't sort out reading the screen, which I probably won't be able to, I will tell you the story of when I went to pick up Sunny from the Cat Hotel. Is it cold for you, Francesca? Yeah, look at our day. But my house, I went out on the deck because I've got not a rain, I'm not that much of a nerd, but not a rain gauge, but I gauge the rain from a watering can that I've got out on the deck. And I checked it out and it was pretty decent amount of water, and I'm like, oh, this is good. And went back into the house and I was like, did I put the heating on this morning? Because it wasn't cold when I got out of bed. And I went over to check that I hadn't put the gas heating on, and the hydronic heating, and it was the thermostat told me it was 27 degrees in the house because it's been so sunny all morning. My house just traps the heat so well. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a swim later. I'm not quite ready to do just bathers. This time of year, the water, well, actually, let's do a water test. But this time of the year, the water's still pretty cold. So I'll probably come down. I just wear little wetsuit shorts, like a bikini top or a tankini. I'm not wearing a friggin' bikini at the moment. I've got the menopausal protruding gut thing going on. Okay. Hallelujah. All right. It's not warm, but I haven't got instant goosebumps. I'd call it, it's cold. I mean, that's not bullshit. But the beauty of this beach is it's really shallow. There's no one nearby where I can show you how far out you walk out and it's still a waist deep water. So the water here, this beach, heats up really quickly over summer, and it's the warmest water at a beach in Tassie in summer. It gets to 24, 25, 26, even 27. But there's a beach on an island called Marara Island that I reckon does get warmer than this one, but they don't, the ocean people, I was at a dinner party years ago and I sat next to this guy who is part of an online community that they each have 6 beaches around the world that they go and do the temperature tests on. And he's the one who told me about the water here. I literally just got the keys to walk through the door to my house, and I was like, well, I've done well. And then he said, yeah, but it's also one of the coldest beaches in winter because right there be the oceans. Isn't the ocean? The ocean is so healing. I mean, it's so good for you when you get in it, in the water, but even just the sound of the waves and the sun on the sand and all the birds, and there's so many surfers out. It's going to be such a busy summer down here. I mean, some of you guys who've been following me from the start will remember this beach was often virtually deserted, but now there's people the whole way along it. It's still nothing like Bondi. but it like the surfers now are like surfing the whole way along here, which is where it's my track, where the track that I use comes out. This was always just locals, this bit here. And you've got the surf club at the other end, so that's always packed. And then this is the car park with the bluff, that's always packed. But this bit in the middle was just like where all the locals would surf and boogie board and hang out. But now over summer, they're surfing the whole way down. Bastards. We want our beach back. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's here for everyone, but it's fascinating how quickly this area has just like grown. I've got some news about my bathroom too, guys. The tilers are in tomorrow and it's done. It got done while I was away. It's not a full bathroom refit. Fuck knows how much money I've just saved, but I'd be putting it in the, you know, around the 20K mark, which I don't have. So that was going to be fun. Well, I could have taken money off my mortgage, and that's what I would have had to have done. But with the interest rates the way they are right now, I didn't really want to do that. So I'm pretty happy. I got the guy who built my house to fix it. And, well, his guys fixed it because he's up in Queensland. But, yeah, they pretty much patched it, which is what I wanted to quote on in the fucking first place. But all these cowboy builders come down, they're like, oh, it's fucked. You're going to have to completely redo it. The cheapest quote I got was 25, and the most expensive one was 38. 38 grand. Like, what the fuck? My house is beautiful, but it's simple. Like, we've used recycled timbers for the floorboards. There were concrete. There's a concrete island bench top. It was poured on site along with the bench tops for the vanity and the laundry basin. But it's a neat house, and my builder's idea, his sort of building, well, the concept of the neat house is it stands for New Environmental Affordable Tasmanian. So that, you know, that A for affordable. So it didn't cost a lot to build. In fact, it cost fuck all. And it's sitting on 3/4 of an acre. And I seriously got, I reckon, the last bargain down here by a country mile. But, yeah, so I'd asked the builders that came in, I wanted the best case scenario quote and the worst case. None of them gave me the best case. They all just went to the quote for the full bathroom refurb. I'm going to sit down here and see if I can get in a position so I can read chat and also have some of my coffee. No, I can't read it. Fuck. How did I used to read chat, guys? Like, different phone, maybe. Like, even highlighting it, I cannot read a friggin' thing. That sucks. I'm going to go live later anyway, so we'll be able to interact later on. But yeah, I can't even work out how to turn up the brightness on the screen or anything, because normally there's hang on, let me see if I can do it. There's usually like a slide thing when you pull down from the top, but it's not. It's not doing it. Maybe because it's, hang on, let's try it this way. Nope. Oh, yep, hang on. No, go back. Still not doing it. And because I've got the sunnies on and the screen's dark, like lifting the sunnies up without prescription glasses. I can't read a friggin' thing. I've got friggin' 20/20 vision. If this phone was like a kilometre away, I'd be able to read everything on there. Can't fix it. So what I'll do is I'll tell you the story about picking up Sunny. You've heard the bathroom story. It's pretty amazing. Builder got his lads down here to come in, and the timing was perfect. They were able to come while I was in Adelaide. Sunny was in the Cat Hotel. Like, I had an Airbnb booked from when I got back on Wednesday for another 10 days with Sunny and I going there. And then I also had a tentative booking again with the Cat Hotel just in case, because it was going to get to a point, like when I got back on Wednesday, like everything in the bathroom I can use, just not the shower, because the shower, the waterproofing is still curing. And literally tomorrow they're just going to come down, do the tiling, which won't take long because it's literally just the shower bay. It's not even the full the full shower recess up to. It's not like wall to wall. It's literally just where the glass screen is to the wall. That bit. And I've gone for a contrasting tile because I couldn't find the exact same sort of sandy colour that I've already got. And to me, I didn't want to have like mismatched sandy ones. And also there was limited options because my builder said go with the same size, which are like 300 by or 600 by 900s or something. There wasn't a lot of options. So I've gone for a really dark slate sort of concrete look, and there's already dark stuff in the bathroom. Like my vanity is a dark hand basin, and the actual joinery in there is really dark too. So it's going to look kind of quirky. And then because I've saved so much money, I'm going to paint the bathroom. Woo-hoo. And then the other thing I'm possibly going to do is replace my oven, because I was cooking in it last night and it's like, look, it was a cheap and cheery, wasn't meant to be here for like ever. I've got a gas connection under the house now so I can have gas top cooking, and I love Belling ovens and they're on special at the moment. So I think I'm going to treat myself to a new oven as well, and that'll last me forever. The one I've got still works, but it was a cheap one that you'd put in a rental property. It wasn't ever meant to be the long term. But my plumber put a gas hose directly under the kitchen where the stove is for when I was ready to get a new one, and I'm ready to get a new one. So, yeah, my project's coming up. Nice little Belling gas oven. The induction top ones are also on sale, but I don't want to have to buy new pots because I've spent a fortune on pots and I love all of them, and there's no way I'm replacing them. So weird. I wish I could read chat. I hope you guys are at least having a nice chat amongst yourselves. So I might just tell you the Sunny story, and then I'll end this live. I'm doing a fair bit of meal prep this afternoon, so I'm either going to go live doing that or I'll just go live later for a chat. So Sunny, little Miss Sunny Bum. So taking her to the Cat Hotel was fairly traumatic. As some of you know, I was a wreck. When I dropped her off, I had terrible separation anxiety. I went live from outside the Lauderdale landfill because that's, a salubrious place to pull over and start crying because her room wasn't ready. So I didn't get to give her a hug and say goodbye. She was sort of in her carrier down on the floor, so I had to get down to floor level and look through the mesh and say, bye, Morgs. And I had terrible separation anxiety that whole day. I had things I had to do before I flew to Adelaide, but it was all, for the most part, done. But I was just so floppy, and the house was really weird without her being there. It was really quiet. It's the first time she's been in the car for longer than a couple of minutes because my vet is up on that bluff. So it takes no time to get to the vet. How are the views though? You go to the vet and you're not actually looking this way, you're looking over the other side of the bluff, but still it's pretty amazing. Anywho, Sorry, I can't read chat. Groovers, hi to anyone that's wanted in. If you've got any BS you want to throw it into the ocean, go for it. I'm going to have to rethink these lives. I think it might be back to sun hats and glasses for the next one. That's cool though. At least I've tested them, right? And they're good for in the car. So there's that. Oh, hang on. I can read a bit of chat now. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. I read that, Mel Mac. Thank you. So, I get home, I'm flopping around. My flight the next day wasn't super early, so I still had time in the morning. But I was just fretting. And I didn't want to be the needy mum, but I was. Hi, Nadie. We were walking before, we're now sitting on the beach. We'll go for a stroll back to the other end shortly and I'll end the live, but and then head up the hill. But I can't walk up the sand dunes still. My knee is still, it's recovered and it's pretty strong, but it still hurts when I get to the top of the dunes. I went up the dunes 2 days ago and I was like, fuck, I don't know. I'm hoping if I just do it easy, like, going down was worse than going up. Going down, I felt like, oh, it's going to go out from under me. I mean, it didn't, but it's just training your brain to have confidence again. Got friends of mine walking along. I'm live on YouTube, so you're not on camera now. They're my friends Tim and Yvette. Anywho, what was I saying? Sunny. So I did send a text that night and just said, oh, I hope she's settling in well. And yeah, I hope she's. I think I just said something like that. It was pretty basic, whatever I said. Well, anyway, they messaged me back and said, yeah, she's pretty quiet, but that's to be expected on day one. And but we'll send you an updated photos tomorrow. So that was cool. Look at that dog. Oh my God, how cute. Happiest little dog ever. All right. So away I went and I got photos the next day and I put them on my community page. Some of you might have seen them. And she was having the time of her life. And then as I was away, I'd get, not every day, but every other day I'd get an update saying, she was really smoochy and she was starting to enjoy the jungle gym and, it was pretty cute. So I didn't worry at all. But I jokingly said quite a few times to my best mate in Adelaide who I was staying with that I had a feeling Sunny wouldn't want to leave when I got back. Like, they started, the messages over the days, it was more and more like, she's having the time of her life. She's amazing. We love her. She's so soft. She's getting lots of cuddles. And I was like, uh-oh. she ain't gonna want to come home with me. Well, I was right, but I had no idea the tantrum that she was going to throw. In fact, that she was even capable of. So I get home on Wednesday, and once again, the house is all quiet. There's no Sunny Bum tearing around, making noise, getting in and out of the enclosure, all that sort of stuff. Couldn't wait to get her on Thursday. I was actually thinking if I'd known the bathroom was going to be so close to being done, I could have got her on the Wednesday. But by the same token, it gave me time to get everything sort of set up and organised for her to come back. And I had to do a fair bit of, I didn't do like a deep clean because there's going to be more dust tomorrow, but I did a pretty good clean. So I go in on Thursday morning. And I know, sorry about the view, Nadie, it's disgusting, but you'll cope. So I get up Thursday, I'm all excited, I've got her bowls out and glitter and, everything's set up for her smooth transition home. And I get to the cat hotel, and Hazel, who owns it, who I didn't get to meet when I dropped her off because I dropped her off on one of Hazel's day off. So I dealt with Karen, who couldn't open the gate, and Sunny's room wasn't made up, and it was all just a bit faulty towers. And Hazel lets me in, and I go around, and I'm like, "How's she been?" And she said, "Fabulous. We love her." And Hazel and her husband were vets for many years, and then they've had the cat hotel for quite a long time since they retired. They built it. It's purpose built. It's pretty cool. Smaller than I pictured, but I mean, they're cats. You know, they don't need. When you picture a penthouse, like I booked Sunny a penthouse because she's a spoiled little flute. But you know, when you picture a human penthouse, for the cats of this world, the penthouse is like a foot bigger than the other ones. I know, I couldn't believe her name was Karen. Absolute stunning woman, though, like beautifully dressed and good value, just useless. Well, no, she wasn't. There was just a lot going on. I mean, she had angry owners rocking up and wanting to get their cat straight away while she was trying to check Sunny in. And, you know, she just told them to go and sit on these benches out in the garden, in this beautiful garden in the sunshine, and they whinged and complained like they were bigger Karens than she was. But Hazel told me that Sunny had a great time, and she was down in the jungle gym, which is pretty cool. It's like an outdoor play area. It's enclosed, but outdoors with one wall with, you know, little steps going up to the highest corner and all sorts of shit. And she said that she'd heard Sunny zooming around in there and up and down the hallway that morning. Sunny basically had free reign because she was the only person that was checking out that morning. And I asked, you know, Hazel, how'd she go with the other cats? And she said, yeah, no, she didn't try and attack them. She just wasn't that interested. And a couple of them were a bit bullyish, so they kept her away from most of them. But she did make friends with another cat that apparently was a dead ringer for her, but not as soft. Hazel told me in all of her years of handling animals, Sunny is the softest fluke she ever has met. So I was proud of that. Little did I know my daughter was about to turn into a demon. So Sunny had a little friend, Florence, but Florence was only there for a couple of days. But okay, so we go into the jungle gym to find Sunny, and nowhere to be seen. And then there's sort of long, narrow boxes down the bottom, like tunnels. And we both called her, and eventually out she came. And she came out and went straight up to Hazel and was smooching around her legs and turning it on. And I'm just there like, g'day, hi, remember me? No, not interested. Got down on the floor. She came over and I put my hand out. She sniffed my hand and just turned around and ignored me. I was like, well, okay, fair enough. Clearly you've got a new human, and sucks to be you because we're taking you home. And then it was on. I picked her up. She hates being picked up at the best of times. I picked her up and a growl came out of her mouth that I've never heard before from any animal, werewolf, fucking bear, wombat, you name it, or ex-boyfriend. It was this guttural, vicious, I'm fucked off and you suck kind of growl. I was like, oh, this is new. Well, as soon as I said that, I then copped a full-on fang in the hand. I'm like, wow, put it down because, you know, I like my hand. I mean, I don't need it, too. Look. Sausage dog. And then it took off. And it took off down the hallway at high speed. So I grabbed her carrier and I rested it on this cat tree, and I said to Hazel, if you can just hang on to the carrier, I'll pick her up and put her in. Well, I went to grab her and she shot off like a rocket and went back into the jungle gym and hid. So eventually Hazel's sort of like tilting this box tunnel thing on an angle, so she had no choice but to come out of it. And she took off again back down into the hallway and then stood her ground hissing like full on, I'm going to rip your faces off. All the cats are hearing this bloody tantrum. So half of them have come down off all their ledges and out of their igloos, and they're down on ground level. And each room, there's no cages. Each room has like a perspex door. And this one cat came down and is checking out Sunny, and she just slammed her paw against the perspex door right where this cat's head was. And I'm looking at her going, I've never seen this before in my life. And then she took off again and got right, we'd closed off the jungle gym. She got right up in the top corner. There's another wall with little steps going up it, right up high. And she just sat up there and started cleaning herself. And then she looked at us both, and she didn't have like crazy eyes. She had normal, content. Oh, she was probably purring half the time this was going on eyes. Like, because Hazel said, she's not angry or scared. Hello. Hey. Hello. Hello. I love little stuffies. Hello, beautiful. Bloody good value. So she's up really high, and yeah, Hazel's pointing out that she doesn't look like she's in attack mode. And then I said, fuck it, have you got any of her treats left? So we got a treat, put it on a dish, and there was this chaise lounge with a coffee table behind it. Put the little dish there. She came straight down because she's a pig and she loves her treats. And she's eating it, and Hazel's like, okay, I'm going to try and grab her. Well, nah, the whole thing starts up again. And I'm just looking at Hazel going, is this normal? And she said, no. Every cat usually is really happy to see their owners, and they're more than happy to jump in their carriers and be taken home. I'm like, I haven't seen this in her before. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. So we couldn't really reach her on this coffee table, and Hazel was like, yeah, I've kind of thought for a while now that putting the chaise lounge in front of this freaking coffee table was a bad move, and I'm convinced now it is. And she said, I'm really sorry, Tori, but I'm going to have to bring out the gloves. Oh, and also Sunny, apparently, not only does she love the play gym and the jungle gym and Florence, she also loved watching the chooks. So I just saw your comment, Francesca. I'm going to go online and see if I can find some sort of mechanical cat toy that's like a chicken. Because apparently she was obsessed with watching the chickens and also sleeping in her sunny spot, which isn't surprising. So, yeah, then there's this foreboding sound. I'm bringing out the gloves, says Hazel. And Hazel disappears, and I'm looking at Sunny going, mate, come on, it's time to go home. But the thing is, Sunny's headstrong and determined, and even at home when there's been times where I've had to, like, I'm trying to think of an example, but, like, close my bedroom door and she's wanted to go in there, like, she's been really mouthy and, you know, let me know about it all. Like, when I've brought the vacuum cleaner out, she's like, fuck you, you know, I hate this thing. That sort of, she's got attitude, right, and opinions. And I'm starting to think maybe she's just had a really good time and she's in the play gym and we've just pulled her out of there, and that's what this is all about. But nonetheless, Hazel reappears with bloody metal gloves on that go up to the elbows, like the sort of gloves you wear when you're letting a hawk land on your arm. You know, you're handling some sort of bird of prey, those sorts of gloves. And I'm just like, oh, my God. And Hazel and I had the carrier on the chaise lounge, and Hazel said, it's going to be swift and brutal, but we've got to do it. And by the way, cats hate these gloves. And I was like, oh, my God. So in one fell swoop, Hazel grabbed her, shoved her in the carrier. Somehow we managed to get the zip up without having our hands ripped off. And then she growled at us both from within the carrier. And I was just like, dude, what the fuck? So I said to Hazel, you know, what's the day like? And she said, well, we get up, you know, we feed them. We go around and clean out all their litter trays, feed them. Then they get shifts for the play gym. And by lunchtime, many of them are ready to go back to their rooms and start to sleep for the afternoon. And then they all get a bit of playtime in the afternoon before dinner, some of them. And then they have dinner and then they get more playtime. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe next time I'll come and get her in the afternoon. Like, keep her in a room. Because I said, I think this is all about her having a ball in the play gym and we've just pulled her out of there. I think she was pissed off because She was having the time of her life and we ruined it for her. And so Hazel agreed that collecting her in the afternoon in future is the way to go. She was incredibly well behaved in the car on the way home. I actually told her I was proud of her because I actually am. I was like, you stood up for what you wanted. You fought like hell for what you wanted. I'm proud of you, girl. Had you ripped my hand off, I may not have been such a fan, but yeah, I wasn't angry at her. I was actually proud. I thought, that's my girl. You fight for what you believe in, kiddo. And she did. And then we got home. She had to do the recce around the house. She checked out the bathroom. I've boarded up the shower bay so she can't get in there because I didn't want her getting, waterproofing on her feet or anything like that. Tomorrow I'm working from home. I'm back at work, but back at home, working from home. I've got to set up her litter somewhere in the living room or maybe even like the doorway to my bedroom or something just while the builders are doing the tiling. And hopefully the noise of the tilers will just make her stay in my room anyway. And then that will be that. I don't know how long the tiling takes to dry or how long before I can have a shower. I've been showering at my neighbours, by the way. When I said that, it sounded like I haven't had one since I got back. My neighbour owes me about 3 weeks of showers from when she did renos. I could read the screen before when the sun went behind a cloud, but it's now back out again. So I think I'm actually going to end this Groovers. That was a tale of Sunny Bum, the most impressive tantrum ever. But I put a review up for them and I said, when you've got a cat that is so chill she barely meows, who turns into a demon when it's time to leave the cat hotel, that sums up what a great place they are. Sunny clearly had the time of her life and simply did not want to leave. So that's her story. I'm going to log off, boo-boo, and head home. But, yeah, I'm doing some meal prepping this afternoon. I'm going to be doing the sort of Mediterranean kind of diet. Well, not diet, but the Mediterranean. Well, diet in terms of what you eat. When it heads into summer, I tend to go very Mediterranean, and I think I need to because my menopausal belly is really starting to piss me off. But it might also have something to do with the fact that I drank more wine in the week I was in Adelaide than I have in the last 3 years, and we ate everything under the sun. So, a bit of a gut was expected, but not this one. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing some meal prepping today, and I might go live if I can be bothered setting up the kitchen. It's kind of hard because the kitchen needs a really good deep clean. I've cleaned all the benches and everything, but until the tiling's done, there's no point because it's going to get dusty again tomorrow. So it's just a bit tricky whether I go live from a sort of, I don't know. I might just go live tonight. We can all have a chat, hang out for a little while. I've got some videos to make. I'm trialing Rumble, and so is Finn, and that shit's doing really well on there, and I need to research how to use Rumble a bit more, but I've already got pretty decent view. Well, decent by my experience. Views on a couple of things that I've put on there, so we're just testing it out. YouTube's becoming so toxic and depressing. So yeah, may not do everything on Rumble, but I've put the Tory and the Laws of Crime and Cooking on there just to see how that goes. But yeah, may go live later. I'm making a soup. I'm making a hummus. I'm making some can't remember. I'm making a pasta. I'm making stuff. In fact, I made most of it yesterday, so I think that's all I've got left to make. So I may or may not see you in the kitchen or at my computer a bit later on, and whatever the day holds for you. If you're in Australia and it's Sunday, I hope you have a beautiful day. If it's Francesca, just pamper the crap out of yourself today, and all the best for tomorrow, gorgeous. And If you're watching from somewhere else in the world, come to Tasmania. I mean, hello, look at it. We'd love you to come and visit us. Before it gets so popular, there's no room left here. Until next time, lovely people, though, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.